so I'm just going to need to grab a name and phone number for you.
Contact information is the price of admission at a lot of restaurants these days, a precaution in case anyone tests positive for COVID-19. As more businesses reopen, some may take that as a signal to ease up.
Young people thinking that they're a little bit more invincible, like not worrying as much. So I think young people are definitely being more social lately, unfortunately.
Despite recent clusters of cases, Canada has still managed to keep the curve flat. But for the second week of July, Canadians in their 20s accounted for a quarter of those new cases, the largest proportion of any age group. Public health officials are worried.
The vast majority of these new cases are in people in their 20s, and they are largely related to having attended private parties.
And those are the situations where we can pass this virus on. And it's very challenging for our teams in public health to find all the contacts in a timely way.
It was the same story in Montreal, where young people were urged to get tested after outbreaks at bars and parties.
And when you drink, unfortunately, it affects your judgment, it affects your inhibitions, and when we're trying to prevent transmission, we sort of need people to be on their guard.
COVID-19 has spared young people for the most part. Those in their 20s account for just 3% of hospitalizations in Canada, which could leave them with a false sense of security.
If you have such a minor infection that you don't even feel unwell, but you spread it to someone else and they die, that is actually a devastating thing to be responsible for that.
Health officials warn unless the spread of COVID-19 comes under control in young people, keeping a second wave of infections to a minimum will be unlikely. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.